Namaskaram. In Mahabharata, we are on the third episode of Nala and Damayanti. We left when Nala played dice with Pushkara, his younger brother. Kali, the evil god of this period, was the main influence. He haunted Nala and made him to do all the mistakes, and he encouraged Pushkara to play and then influenced the game in Pushkara's favor. So Nala lost everything, his kingdom, everything. And Pushkara threw him out of the kingdom, said, "You get out, don't stay any more." And he ordered every citizen of his land not to serve any food or drinks to Nala or Damayanti. So Nala was desperate. He spent with Damayanti 3 days and 3 nights without any food, surviving on water alone. Then he realized that he couldn't pull on anymore like this. He thought that if he went into the forest, at least he might find some fruits or some roots, some vegetables to eat. So with Damayanti, he went into the forest. And on the very first night, they were so exhausted that they fell down and got into a sleep right away. When he woke up, Nala was still hungry, so he saw some birds with golden feathers coming down. So Nala wanted to catch them for food. So there was nothing, no net, nothing. So he used his cloth. He had only one garment, and that was the case with Damayanti also. So he took out his garment, which was the lower garment, and with that he tried to catch the birds. But the birds flew away with Nala's clothes. So neither he got the birds for food, nor he get his cloth back. So he was naked and still with no food. And the birds, while they were flying away, they spoke in human voice. Nala, we are the ones who played as dice against you, and now we are going away with your cloth. And they left. Nala then found some people who were walking in the direction which he guessed could lead to Vidarbha, Damayanti's land, where his father Bhima was ruling. So Nala asked Damayanti, look, those people are going in the direction of your kingdom. Go with them and escape. How long can we survive like this? But Damayanti said, no, my husband, I cannot leave you alone in this forest. Wherever you are, I shall also be there. So I will not go with them. What to do? So that day, when without food, they both went to sleep, and in the middle of night, Nala woke up then he wanted to leave Damayanti there, thinking that when alone, she might at least try to escape, try to save herself. So, but Nala was naked, he had no cloth. So he found some, some stone, something with which to tear Damayanti's cloth. So he tore Damayanti's cloth into two, and he took one half, wore it, and he went away from there. And Damayanti, in the morning, when she woke up, she found herself alone. And that was a big shock for her. She shouted for Nala, looked around everywhere. She couldn't find Nala. She was talking to the trees. She was almost like a mad woman. Did you find my husband, Nala, the king of Nishadha? But who will answer? And, because it was too much for Damayanti to stay alone in the forest without Nala, she moved here and there. And after a while, she found a satra, which is a lodge meant for passengers. Those days, kings and nobilities, they built such rest houses along the routes which they take through the forests. So she went there, slept for a while, and still there was no trace of Nala. And then she started walking, and she reached a hermitage. Those days, sages, they, in groups, they go deep into the forest and find suitable places where there is water to drink and some fruits and vegetables to eat. Then they set up tents, their ashrams. Mostly it will be a teacher, a guru, and his disciples. And he found such a hermitage, and she took refuge there. Meanwhile, Nala thought that Damayanti, now at least she would escape herself. And he started moving. Meanwhile, Damayanti, even before she reached the hermitage, she was caught by a python. It was so huge that it could almost swallow Damayanti. She was scared. She tried to save herself, but the python's grasp was too strong. And then she started crying. Luckily, a hunter heard her wails, and he came with his bow and arrow, and he sent a sharp arrow into the python's body and killed it. And the hunter pulled the python away. And looking at Damayanti, the hunter thought there is no woman like her, so beautiful as Damayanti. So he was infatuated, he was in love with Damayanti immediately. But Damayanti said, no, don't come to me. I am Nala's wife, and I shall think of no other man. I want to have nothing to do with you. When the hunter didn't succeed, he started grasping Damayanti by force. And Damayanti was wild with anger. She cursed the hunter. May you die right now, because you are going to destroy my chastity. And the hunter fell down dead. That was the strength of Damayanti's Pativratya, that is her devotion to Nala. And it was after that she found the lodge, and from there she went into the hermitage. So that is one stage. We stop here, can continue next day with the remaining. Namaskaram.